told you a city overflowing with beauty, luxury, and prosperity vanished in a single morning. A city where wealth flowed freely, where fertile land stretched as far as the eye could see, where pleasure was not only permitted but celebrated. A place where people believed they were untouchable, unaccountable, and free to live however they pleased. But beneath the polished streets and abundant harvests lived a people so corrupt, so violent, and so cruel that their cries rose from the earth itself and reached the heavens. And God came down, not with an army, not with a flood, but with fire. This is not merely a story of destruction. It is a story of warning, a story of mercy, a story of intercession, a story of a man who dared to ask God a dangerous question. Will you really destroy the righteous with the wicked? Before the fire fell, before the sky turned to flame, heaven listened. God remembered Abraham, and in mercy, he pulled one family from the fire. This is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Long ago, in the ancient land of Canaan, two cities stood in the fertile valley of the Jordan, Sodom and Gomorrah. From a distance, they appeared blessed beyond measure. Their fields were green, their wells were full, their trade routes thrived. Travelers spoke of their abundance with envy and admiration. Scripture describes the land as being like the garden of the Lord, rich and desirable. To the eye, these cities looked like proof that prosperity meant approval, that wealth meant security, that success meant blessing. But beneath the surface, something rotten was growing. These were cities without reverence for God. Justice had collapsed, compassion had vanished. The strong exploited the weak, and the vulnerable were treated as disposable. Pride ruled their culture, violence filled their streets, pleasure became their highest law. They rejected the stranger, they mocked righteousness, they oppressed the poor, they celebrated sin and called it freedom. Centuries later, the prophet Ezekiel would explain their true guilt. They were arrogant, overfed, and unconcerned. They did not help the poor and the needy. They were haughty and committed detestable acts. Their sin was not a single behavior, it was a complete moral collapse. A society so inward-focused, so self-indulgent, so hardened that mercy itself became offensive to them. The cries of the abused, the neglected, and the violated did not disappear into the dust. They rose upward, they reached heaven, and the Lord came down to see for himself. On a hot afternoon near the oak trees of Mamre, Abraham sat at the entrance of his tent. Without warning, he looked up and saw three men standing nearby. Something in his spirit stirred. These were no ordinary travelers. Abraham rose quickly. He ran to meet them. He bowed low to the ground and spoke with urgency and humility. "My Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, do not pass your servant by. Let water be brought so you may wash your feet. Rest here under the tree, and let me prepare food so you may be refreshed." The visitors agreed. Abraham hurried. Bread was baked, a calf was prepared, milk and curds were brought out. He stood nearby as they ate, honored to serve them, unaware that he was hosting heaven itself. Then the moment shifted. The Lord spoke. "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Their sin is exceedingly grave. I will go down and see whether they have done what is reported. If not, I will know." The two angels turned toward the city, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. And then Abraham did something extraordinary. He stepped forward. "Will you really sweep away the righteous with the wicked?" he asked. "What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you destroy it and not spare it for their sake?" Abraham was not accusing God. He was appealing to God's own character. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is right? The Lord answered with mercy, If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the entire place for their sake. Encouraged, Abraham pressed further. 45, 40, 30, 20? Each time God answered patiently, For their sake I will not destroy it. Finally, Abraham spoke again, trembling. Let me speak once more. What if only 10 are found? The Lord replied, For the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. And then the Lord departed. Abraham returned to his tent, his heart heavy, hoping, praying that somewhere within the walls of that city at least 10 righteous souls remained. As evening fell, the 2 angels arrived at the gates of Sodom. There sat Lot, Abraham's nephew, now deeply woven into the life of the city. Years earlier, he had chosen this place because of its prosperity. Now he sat at its gate, surrounded by its corruption. When Lot saw the visitors, he rose and bowed low. My lords, please come to my house for the night. Wash your feet and rest. The angels declined, saying they would stay in the square, but Lot insisted urgently. He knew the city, he knew the night, he knew what happened to strangers in the dark. Reluctantly, they agreed. But before they lay down, a sound rose from the streets, shouting, footsteps, voices multiplying. Men from every part of the city, young and old, surrounded the house. They beat on the door. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out so we may know them. This was not curiosity. It was violence. It was domination. It was evil, fully unrestrained. Then Lot stepped outside and shut the door behind him. Please, my brothers, do not do this wicked thing. In desperation, and in a moment that reveals how deeply Sodom have shaped him, Lot made a horrifying offer, exposing the moral devastation of the city. But the crowd only grew angrier. This man came here as a foreigner, and now he acts like our judge. We will treat you worse than them. They surged forward. Then, in an instant, the visitors revealed who they were. They struck the mob with blindness. Panic erupted. Men staggered, groping at walls, unable to find the door they had just been pounding. The angels turned to Lot. Do you have anyone else here? Get them out of this place. We are about to destroy it. Lot ran to his sons-in-law and warned them. They laughed. To them, judgment was a joke. At dawn, the angels urged Lot again. Hurry, take your wife and your daughters and flee. But Lot hesitated. So the angels seized their hands and led them out. Scripture is clear, the Lord was merciful to them. Outside the city, the warning came sharply. Run for your lives, do not look back, flee to the mountains. Lot begged for mercy again, and the Lord granted it. As the sun rose, fire and sulfur rained from the heavens. The earth shook, the sky burned, cities vanished, life was erased. And as they fled, Lot's wife looked back. Her heart still belonged to the city. In that moment, she became a pillar of salt, a monument to longing for what God had condemned. Sodom and Gomorrah were gone. Yet the story did not end there. The memory of these cities echoed through Scripture. The prophets spoke of them. Jesus himself warned that their judgment would stand as a testimony. They became symbols not only of wickedness, but of what happens when a society rejects righteousness, silences truth, and mistakes indulgence for freedom. And what of today? We live in an age of prosperity and pride, an age where sin is renamed, celebrated, and defended, where righteousness is mocked and restraint is despised, where comfort has replaced conscience. The story of Sodom is not ancient history, it is a mirror. Yet even now, there is hope. God still listens. God still saves. God still rescues those who will turn. The fire that fell was not only judgment, it was a warning across time. Do not follow the crowd into destruction. Choose the narrow path. Stand firm in truth, because the same God who judges is the God who saves, and the path that leads to life is still open.
Subscribe.